I'm now in an international church with brothers and sisters from different countries, different nations. Sometimes I found their attitudes towards Christianity in China quite interesting and also a bit annoying. Like a few days ago, a German sister shared a viral video with me and a Hong Konger asking, "Did you girls ever hear about this in China?" The moment I saw the text, "China knew Jesus," in the thumbnail image, I immediately cringed. I know that video is about some historical records aligning with the scriptures, and it's more for entertainment to feed people's curiosity. It's just a common sight in the YouTube Christian content market. I don't want to make a fuss, but as a Christian, I am really sensitive to the usage of the word "no." China knew Jesus. What does that mean? I think for most viewers, especially Christian viewers, when they saw this statement, they were perceiving it as China knew who Jesus is, or even China was once evangelized. But we know that's not true, not even close. Christianity has never entered the mainstream view in China and still lacks the legal recognition it deserves. So, if it's just some historical records of what happened in ancient time, we shouldn't use the word no. And on the other hand, when we refer to a nation, it should be at least a collective of real people. I can confidently say that more than 99.9999% of Chinese people have never heard of those records, those proofs, including Christians. And even fewer would have known in ancient China. If those records are not the inheritance of national memory, what's the point of saying China knew or know Jesus? So the whole statement is, in general, misleading. I'm not denying the value of historical research. What I dislike is simplifying it to a marketing gimmick. And I sort of understand why Christians in English-speaking world tend to swallow this bait. For people who are already Christians, knowing those historical proofs won't make any difference because they already know Jesus. But why do they still upload these China-related videos? Maybe it's a preference for grand narratives. There is a brother from Brazil in our church. He has mentioned multiple times to me that the number of Christians in China is rapidly growing. We have the largest Christian population, and Jesus is winning over this country. He always seemed excited when talking about this and kind of wanted to get some validation from my side. I know he probably got this impression from all those videos and reports on the internet. And he once went on a business trip to China. He attended Sunday service there and felt really good. I don't want to upset him, but as a first generation Christian brought up in a non Christian environment and have experienced all those difficulties myself, I don't want to cater to his passion for such grand narratives. So I didn't give him the validation he wanted, not even a positive feedback. Sometimes he respected my perspectives, but sometimes his attitude was more like, well, it's just your own perspective. I'm not denying all the statistic data. I just don't think it's a good idea to stand from the level of grand narratives, especially when you are in front of an individual. When Christians use grand narratives, they are prone to romanticize the narratives, just like those emotional lyrics in the contemporary Christian music. But when you really look into the journey of those individuals, their narratives are unlikely to be romantic. I mean, they are the ones who are facing the cultural stronghold or the concrete struggles. And it is the transformation of such individuals, one by one, that has pushed forward the transformation of the entire nation. You have no contribution to that, not even as a cheerleader. So it's just unfair to stand at that high level of grand narratives and shout the victory. So instead of feeding that appetite for grand narratives, you might as well care more about those individuals, like me, which is more reliable. Don't get me wrong, I'm not blaming my brother and sister in Christ. Whether it's that German sister or that Brazilian brother, they are both very nice people and sincere Christians. It's never easy to meet sincere Christians. I really cherish my church fellows. But I do blame the media. Many Chinese or Asian Christian creators aren't actually bridging the cultural gap. They are just playing to the Western expectations and human nature. Well, that's just marketing, no judgment. But if you really care and want to nuance reality, you can subscribe to channels like mine, and maybe in the future buy my books. Well, that's something long term. Next time I will next time I will talk about why Chinese actually don't need a proof of Jesus and why the Westerners do.